Hey everyone, and welcome back to Let's Makeup. Of course, my name is Siobhan for anyone who's new, and I am doing a makeup tutorial for you guys based off of this gorgeous palette here, which is the newest palette from Zoeva, being released on June the 1st. This is their Cocoa Blend palette, which has the most beautiful, rich, like earthy tones. Of course, it's inspired by, you know, chocolates and rich, like chocolates. Didn't I say that? But yeah, it's of course inspired by cocoa. Yeah, there you go. Love my Zoeva eyeshadows. So this just missed the deadline to make it into last month's ship stash. So I really wanted to show it to you before it's released, to give you an idea about what it's like, and so you can decide whether you want to purchase it or not. I think these guys are usually under the €20 mark anyhow. I will try and find out the proper price and leave a below fee, but I just love this. I think it's fantastic, and I'll say no more. One thing I will say, actually, not about this, is that like 99% of the products I've used today all cost less than €10, because they are, most of the products that I used are showed in Monday's video, which was of course my 10 under 10. So this wasn't, and neither is the face powder I used, but everything else is very, very affordable. So without further ado, just keep watching to see how I created this look. Okay, so as usual, we'll start off with the base, and I'll scoot ahead with this, try not to spend too much time on it if I can. I'm going to be using the CATRICE Nude Illusion makeup. This is a luminous matte makeup, which is one of my favourite finishes to use. And I will pop we'll start with 2 pumps anyhow onto the back of my hand, and I'm going to be using the Real Techniques, what's this guy called? The Miracle Complexion sponge, and this is my first time using this on camera. So I'll pick up a little bit of the foundation with the flat part and start popping that all over the cheeks and the biggest parts of my face, so my chin and my forehead. And even though I know you can use this tip for like the smaller areas, I'm actually just going to use the top, because I can just pop that on its side and it'll do the same thing. So get that in around the nose and the brow bone. And I'll pop on a wee bit of concealer before doing my eyes. So of course this is my beloved MAYBELLINE Fit Me Concealer. This one is very well used. The writing has nearly gone out of it. And I do have backups though. And again, I'll just use the tip to blend that in. I'll need to be more precise about blending this in after my eyes are done, so that's probably when I'll use the smaller end of the sponge. And then, in keeping with this being a super affordable makeup tutorial, I'm going to use my Catrice Prime and Fine eyeshadow base. This is my most affordable or least expensive eyeshadow base, and I love it. Now I know sadly Catrice isn't as available, say, in the UK and outside Europe as it is here, but I think you can get a lot of bits online. So I'll just use my finger to pat that into place, and don't use too much. You know, apply with one finger and then take away any excess with another. So now moving on to the star of the show, and of course it is this beauty. It's the Cocoa Blend eyeshadow palette by Zoeva, which is their newest eyeshadow palette. This will be available from the 1st of June, so you can get it on the Zoeva website then, and it will also be on lovemakeup.co.uk as well. So the first colour I'll use in this will be Bitter Start, which is that lovely light, just a very light cream colour. And I'm going to press that onto my brow bone. Colour payoff, especially of the mattes with the Zoeva shadows, is just so good. It's really, really impressive. They can be a tiny bit dusty, but you don't really mind that because they just sit on the skin so well once they're there. And they're just a dream to blend with as well. I'm just such a big fan of these eyeshadows. Next, I think I'll put this gorgeous gold colour. It's called Pure Ganache. This guy here, so it is, we'll see how it looks on the eyes. This is my first time using them. Oh yeah, it just goes on so buttery and so smooth. Next, I think I'll go into Substitute for Love, which is this gorgeous, like, warm mid-tone brown. I'll pop that into the crease. And I'll bring this pretty far up, close to the brow, particularly in the inner corner. And this is the Zoeva Luxe Crease brush, which I did show in the 10 under 10 video there on Monday. And I'm going to use the Petite crease as well, because I did show this in the 10 out of 10 video as well. And I'll go into Freshly Toasted, sure, right beside it. It's a deeper one. It'd be kind of similar maybe to Swiss Chocolate, like leaning towards Handwritten by MAC. I'm going to pick that up on the very tip of my brush and then work that into the deepest part of the crease. And then just bring it back and forward in windshield wiper motions there above the crease. And I'm dying to use the like purple shades, or like this kind of one here and this guy. So I'm going to go into Delicate Acidity, which is this gorgeous mauve tone. Now I don't love using eyeshadows that are shimmery underneath the eye, but I will just for today. I'm going to use the same brush I just wiped off the tip of it on a bit of tissue. Picking up that mauve shade, I will make sure to tap off excess because this has a tendency to fall down a bit. I'll run that along the lower lash line. And because purple and yellow are complementary, this gold shade will go really well with this eyeshadow. So it will work quite well. Looks a bit crazy, but it'll be fine once everything comes together. And I do want to use this Warm Notes somehow. Not really sure what to do there. I think I'll use a teeny tiny brush. This is just a blank Canvas Cosmetics pencil brush. I'm going to pick up some of that guy. It's called Warm Notes on just the very tip of the brush. And then run it along the inner third of my eye, just there on the lower lid. And then just quickly wipe off that brush. I'm going to go into Bitter End, which is this, I think it's a duochrome shade. I had a quick swatch of it there a second ago and it seems to be like a goldy beige shade. So I'm going to pile that there onto the inner corner. Just drag it over onto the bottom lid as well. I'm going to put some of the darker colour in on the outer corner in a sec, but first I'm going to go, woo! But first I'm going to apply some of my RIMMEL ScandalEyes concealer. This is the black one underneath the top. So again, this was in that video on Monday, and I'll apply this onto the waterline and also will tightline with it. And then with that done, what I'm going to do is go in with a Zoeva angled brush. This is 317, it's their winged liner brush. This particular one is from the Bamboo collection. This is called Beans Are White, which is a funny name for it. Tap off any excess and then just press it there along the lower lash line, just on the outer half. I don't think I want to actually put any on the top lid. I think I might just leave the top lid as it is because I just love that gold shade. But what I will do is apply a little bit of this NYX black liquid eyeliner, again from that video on Monday. Now I want this eyeliner to be fairly thin, just really on the outer half and without too much of a wing. So I'm going to use a small mirror to apply that, so hopefully you can see. Even that flick came out a bit bigger than what I wanted, but it'll do. It's not too ridiculous. Just finish the same on this side. Okay, so I kind of struggled a little bit with my eyeliner, but it's fine. I'm not 100% happy with it, but it's just one of those days where it wasn't really working for me. Now next I'm going to pop on some of this Max Factor 2000 Calorie mascara. This was one of those products that just made it into the video. It's $9.99 here, so you know, if it was 2 cents dearer I couldn't have used it. And I'm going to pop plenty of that onto my top and bottom lashes. This is a great mascara. I was actually hoping to be able to get one of the Max Factor mascaras into that video because I love the Max Factor mascaras. They're some of my favourite drugstore or pharmacy mascaras. But there's only like 2 of them underneath a tenner, beneath a tenner, less than a tenner even. So I did reapply a little bit of under eye concealer there after I did my mascara, but I didn't actually use the sponge because I was worried I just couldn't get close enough to the lashes with so much mascara on them. So I just used this soft definer brush by Zoeva. And next I'm going to go into my Camouflage cream, which is my like favourite affordable heavy duty concealer, hands down. I mean, I just adore this stuff. So I'm going to pick this up with that same definer brush because this is synthetic, so it's great for applying. I'll just bounce that initially. Actually, I don't even have as many blemishes today as I thought, but I'll just kind of pop it anywhere where I'm generally a little bit red or uneven. And then I will move on to my sponge for this and just bounce it over the top. It's more for the dampness of the sponge that I'm doing this, because I just really love the finish you get from using like damp products. I've actually seen people spritz their brushes before to get a similar effect, but if you have the sponge you might as well use it. And now it's time for my only expensive product of this tutorial, which is the NARS Translucent Crystal Light Reflecting Setting Powder. I would have used my Catrice Prime and Fine, but I want to do a video on this. I actually filmed a video on this at the weekend and the files got corrupted, which is why I need to do it again, and I need to really be wearing it to film it. So there it is, and I'm going to use, I kind of like to apply, actually I'll use this guy here by number 7. This isn't under a tenner now, but it's a handy wee brush. It's a double-ended brush. I think it's the contour and highlight, but this is big enough for me for powder. And I'm going to pick up the NARS powder and just lightly press it over my base. And I won't talk too much about it because I'll just do a video on it, but I love this stuff. I might do my brows before I move on to the rest of my skin. So this is the pencil that I showed on Monday, and it is the Catrice Eyebrow Stylist. Absolutely love this. It is called Brown Eyed Peas. It's the dark brown one. And because the brow powder I'm about to use is a plumping powder, I won't actually be putting too much of this in. It's more just to fill out this tail end. So I'm only putting the tiniest amount here, where it's a little bit sparse, again from overzealous plucking. And then use the spoolie just to brush through to break down the product. And then of course it's the Brow Plumper by L'Oreal, which is such a brilliant brow product. So brilliant in fact that I use it in my kit, despite it being pharmacy brand, but it's just such a good brow set and affordable. So I'll just pop that through the brows, and because this does contain fibres, it does actually like thicken the look of the brows, which I love. And there you go. I love a good strong brow without it being too, you know, fake looking. And then time for a wee bit of contour. So where is it? I am of course going to use my blush, not my blush, my NYX Taupe Blush, that's what I was saying, blush. And this is the Blank Canvas Cosmetics F32 brush, which I showed on Monday. Despite the fact I haven't even filmed the video for Monday yet. It'll be filmed after this. And you want to start applying the bronzer or the contour there, kind of, you know, where you're hairiest at the hairline. That's pretty much where you want to apply it, and the hair will grab onto the powder, to the product. And if you happen to have a spot where you need to contour, it's going to show through. There's no way concealer will stay in place when you're blending over it, but it's just a sacrifice you have to make if you want chiseled cheeks. And just go over with your powder brush then to soften it back in if you think you've gone too strong. I don't like a really strong contour for daytime. But I do generally apply some around the hairline as well. And then because this is quite a small contour brush, like face contour brush, I'm actually going to use that for my nose as well. And it's nice and straight, so it works pretty good. I usually, like, generally use a small eyeshadow blending brush, but I can manage with this guy as well. So pretty straight, just down the sides of the nose. Now I need to use this different powder for this because the other one is too translucent, but if I can find it, I'll have to use my MAC. So this is something you could of course skip. I'm going to pick up my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural and just go over the contour because otherwise it's just too obvious on my face. And I need a powder with a bit of coverage to like settle the contour back into my skin. Now quickly we'll finish off with the Catrice Illuminating Blush. This guy is beautiful, it is permanent. Stick that all over my cheeks. This is in the colour Coral Me Maybe. There is a pinker one as well, and there's another colour, but I only have the two so far. Then again, going with what I showed on Monday or in Monday's video, this is my e.l.f. Baked Highlighter in Moonlight Pearl. I actually like to apply this with my fingers. I think it comes on stronger. If you want it a little bit less intense, use a brush, like a fluffy brush. But I love how it looks. And to finish off quickly, I will use this guy because I showed it in the video. It is, I actually used this in that bridal look as well last Friday. It's the Lip Liner Couture by Calorie L'Oreal, and it is in the colour Beige en Nude. This is like $4.99 or $5.99 I think in Boots. And I'm going to finish off with the RIMMEL Apocalypse Lip Lacquer in Celestial, which is kind of like a nudie pink colour. Actually, it's not that nude, it's kind of a pinky colour. But it's not a very strong pink. And there's the finished look. So I did go a little bit overboard with my top lip, but I do love a fat top lip. I do like my top lip to look thicker, is that the right word? Fatter, plumper even, than my bottom lip. So there you go, my finished, mostly affordable makeup tutorial. But of course, and I have to pick it up because I dropped it. This guy was the main, this came out, but I will be depotting these anyhow. Anyhow, this guy was the you know, star of the show. This beautiful palette by Zoeva, available June the 1st. I'm not sponsored to say that, but yeah, really love this. And of course they've gone beautiful like all the Zoeva palettes do. But yeah, I'll leave a full list of products below as usual, and on the blog as usual, though that may take a little bit longer. And yeah, that's it. I'll just see you all on Friday for my next video. And till then guys, take care, be good to yourselves, and I'll see you then. Bye. And feel free to subscribe if you're new to my channel as well, and give the video a thumbs up. Cheers guys.